People with narcissistic parents. How did they manipulate you? I was 19 when my dad got remarried. His new wife Delana was already pregnant and pulled me aside during the wedding reception. I expected us to make small talk about the weather or something, but Delana had other plans. Suddenly, she whipped out a long black folder from the janitor's closet. In it was a detailed visitation calendar. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays were all marked as my days to mind her future child because Delana had spin class and work dinners. Weekends were split. I got mornings so they could sleep in. When I tried to explain that I had a life of my own to kick into gear, she just laughed. Your little career can wait. This is a helpless baby we're talking about. Little Sammy needs you. She then rubbed her stomach as if her unborn son could hear me. EF no, you and my father can leave me alone, I wanted to blurt out, but it was her wedding, which meant it was her day, not mine. So instead I said, let's talk about this later. But her and my dad never mentioned it again. Not the babysitting schedule, the pregnancy, nothing. I honestly thought they must have had a miscarriage or something, so I didn't bring it up either. I was sitting in my dorm room 3 months later, cramming for an exam when I got the call. It was Delana. I'm outside, she exclaimed. I looked out the window to see Delana standing there waving, with what looked like a blanket in her arms. When I went downstairs, she handed baby Sammy to me. It's Monday, which means it's your day, she said with a completely straight face. My face contorted with disgust. Don't act like I didn't warn you about this. Anyway, I gotta run. My Sephora appointment isn't going to attend itself. Next thing I knew, she was running into her car and driving off. Little Sammy burst into tears, and I knew I would get dorm complaints for his crying. So I was forced to drive back home just to take care of a child that wasn't even mine. For some reason, I decided to call my mom, thinking she could help, until I heard her words drunkenly slurring together. You should really be thanking Delana. She's finally helping you act like a real woman. I didn't say a word before sighing and hanging up. I considered calling CPS, but as I looked into Sammy's big blue eyes, I knew he deserved better. So I settled for cradling him all night, and when 4 a.m. hit, I already knew I was going to fail my exam. Delana came by the next morning to pick him up. She tried to grab Sammy and drive off, but I stopped her. Delana, this is your baby. I'm a teenager in college. I can't take care of Sammy for you. I didn't even mention that I failed the exam because of her. I didn't want her to feel bad. I just wanted her to stop relying on me to babysit. She nodded like she understood, but then a smile crept onto her face. The exact same one she had that day at the wedding. Of course, no problem, she replied. Her voice dripped like honey, but I should have known it was laced with venom. That same day I drove back to my college dorm. And aside from Facebook photos from our monthly FaceTime calls, I never saw Delana, Sammy, or my dad ever again. Until 3 months later, that is. I was doom scrolling through Instagram when my roommate sent me a photo. It was a photo of Sammy left at my door. He was completely unclothed and wrapped up in one of the dirtiest towels I'd ever seen. When I got there, my friend was standing over Sammy completely topless, desperately trying to warm him up with her jumper. You see, it was the middle of winter, and all the heating in our dorm was broken. I grabbed him and rushed over to the campus health center. His lips were completely blue, and his skin felt like ice. The nurse took one look and her face went ghost white. And that's when I saw it. On the inside of his sock, there was a piece of paper sticking out. It was a note that read, "We had to catch a flight to redo our vows. Thanks for watching him. Love, Delana." My heart dropped. Within seconds, the nurses burst through the doors. They wrapped Sammy in special thermal blankets and hooked him up to monitors. One of them muttered, "Core temp is 94 degrees, which made them move even faster. So there I was, sitting in the waiting room spam calling my dad and his wife, when a woman came up to me with a clipboard and a gentle smile. "I'm Evelyn from CPS. Are you available to talk?" My head was spinning and I followed her into her office. Turns out, they had found finger-shaped bruises on his back, ones that only an adult could have left. I knew somehow Delana was behind this, and once everything was said and done, I planned on making her pay. Full story on channel, link below.